Yeah, it's time. Let's go. I didn't get tripped by Steve this morning. It was close, though. It's always close. T-Rex. Steve wants to know why you're not doing that counterclockwise spin when you go out the door anymore. I don't know. I really don't know, Steve. It's 50 degrees, 9/13, May 3rd. Not that Steve. Steve didn't ask that. Steve up at the park yesterday asked. He says he watches every day. Really appreciate that, Steve. And Steve, it really was nice yesterday, wasn't it, for a short time? Actually, it was quite a few hours where we had wind from the southwest, but the wind has turned around again. We have had 3 major wind shifts this week. It shows up really nicely in the Boston buoy pressure change chart. Down, up, down, up, down, up. That last down, up last evening was a third time we've seen a backdoor cold front in Boston. It's sort of the same boundary we've been talking about for some time, oscillating back and forth. And when it came through yesterday, Carl Weller Jr. getting out of work, not amused, even though the sun was out there. Did you dash for it? Did you get an Uber? Did you get in a car? Or did you just run and get wet? Thank you for sharing, everybody. But we're getting off pretty easy here in New England. There was the story that's really making headlines today is storm chaser Freddie McKinney saw this tornado in Hawley, Texas. What a beast of a tornado. And there was one, it was mostly rural area, but there was one house there. And when the tornado left, he went in there and did a rescue, what they called a grab and go of the daughter, and got the family to the hospital. And that family grateful this morning for Freddie McKinney, storm chaser and humanitarian. Weather has always been something that has been extreme, but brings us together to help one another. I love that part of the weather, and I love that it's a common bond that we all share. And yesterday, while I was out here in the yard sharing my time lapses, the time lapse of that Hawley tornado, I wanted to show you that. This was from Matt Lance. He's a pastor and a photographer there in Fort Worth, Texas. So he had the distant view of that supercell forming in eastern Texas, where, by the way, it's just relentless rain. This morning, more flooding is ongoing. I looked at some of the rainfall amounts. 19.21 inches of rain since Sunday in Trinity, Texas. Relentless. And it's still raining, but it looks like it's moved south and east of that area for today. And the reason we're not getting into that really heavy rain is because of a block in the atmosphere. And that high pressure system we've been talking about all week long is getting even stronger. There's a place up there between Greenland and Canada called the Davis Strait. And in the Davis Strait, it's now a 1045 millibar high pressure system. And Carl Weller Sr. wants to know, what's that in inches? That is 30.8 inches. I think that was the number. I got to memorize all my scripts, you know. And that's almost off the charts there. And the southern end of that high pressure system has been keeping us on the cooler side of the front yesterday. And another contributor, Ray Alba Family Adventures, says it was 93 in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, 92 on the road back on the Pennsylvania Turnpike into New York City. And that front now that came through Boston last evening has made it all the way down to Virginia. So we have a backdoor front heading way south. And yes, it is a Greenland block. We monitor that using the North Atlantic Oscillation. That's called the negative North Atlantic Oscillation. You can Google NAOCPC to see this chart, and it's forecast to gradually ease. And there will be a change in our weather pattern briefly, but it looks like next week we're going to have another midweek backdoor cold front, and that'll be the 4th week in a row. This is the 3rd week in a row where it's happened in the middle of the week. And they were coming with snow 2 weeks ago. Remember that in northern New England? And next week it's going to be close. All right, so what's going to happen next? Phil, content weather guy, showed this satellite image. He says the sun is out just east of Hull right now. And the drier air may come in from the northeast. We had that happen on Tuesday, and it turned really nice for a few hours. This marine layer may get eroded. Sometimes when you get these backdoor fronts and the air is coming from the northeast, wind is air moving from that high to the north to the low to the south and west, sometimes you can get the drier air to come in off the ocean. And we've seen it this week, and there is that drier air that Phil pointed out on that satellite imagery. Thank you, Phil, another contributor, partner on our weather experience here. So this high pressure to the north is going to stay in control. And by the way, I measured it. It's near the Arctic Circle. Here's the Google Earth. It's 2,000 miles away. So a weather system 2,000 miles to our north has been pretty much in charge this week and may end up in charge again next week. Here's the HRR. No, I'm going to use the NAM. That rain yesterday evening was not well predicted by the HRRR, was it? At least not the 6Z run. Well, anyhow, here's the 6Z run of the NAM, and all you see on there right now are black lines. And if you note the 1024 on the black line, that's an isobar, and then there's a 1022 and a 1020. All that means is that the pressure is higher north and east of Boston. So that keeps the air coming from the north and east. And the red lines are the thickness lines. You see the 552, 558. It's not really the coldest air mass. It's just being undermined by the chill. So here comes some showers coming close. And then really tomorrow night, showers are starting to get close to western New England. This is a front coming in from the west. Part of that whole front that's causing all that severe weather. It keeps breaking into pieces. And then Sunday, most of us are dry. It looks like the pressure gradient tightens up a little from the south there in Vermont. So it could be showery in Vermont in the morning. And this has been a moving target all along. And it looks like the showers want to wait until late in the day or maybe even the evening to get into eastern New England. And now technically that's a cold front, but it's going to be warmer behind that cold front because the sun's going to come out and the air is going to come from the west. At least a little on Monday, but more so Tuesday, and then more big changes. Let's go to the European from the pivotal weather for those bigger changes, all right? So there is that front in the middle of the nation, another low-pressure system going through the Great Lakes and lifting to the north, and that's going to push a front through here now. It's getting close. Tomorrow, a lot of clouds, but not bad, probably 60s inland. And then maybe 60 on Sunday, too, ahead of the cloud and the rain. It's going to get much cooler when that rain comes in, so temperature may go from 60 to 50. Not a washout. And Sunday night, the rain goes by. And then Monday morning, now the sun's coming out. Now you got high pressure off to our west. And there's a strong storm going up through, look at that, in the 970s through the Rockies. That is a blizzard perhaps around Wyoming and Montana, where it is snowing today, by the way. And that will weaken and drive into Canada, and that's going to try and push warm air in our direction. But look what happens as that warm front comes at us. It starts buckling and stalling, so now you get rain showers coming in here on Wednesday, and there's low pressure to our south. That means another backdoor kind of situation with colder air coming in from the northeast and perhaps off and on rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Timeout. Boating. Oh, yeah, Doug's taking the shrink wrap off the boat right now. It just reminded me. I'm sorry missing that party. Doug's, why not? No, that's the sailboat. The jet stream is going in tomorrow morning, right? And hopefully I'll be here for that. And while we're on events, it's Brewster in Bloom weekend. It looks pretty good. And Joe Joyce's band, Blue Canyon, playing at the Cohasset Foreign Legion, not Foreign Legion, American Legion tonight. Blue Canyon at the American Legion in Cohasset tonight. See you there. All right, where were we? Okay, I'm talking about 1 week from today. It could be cold and wet, and next weekend. Oh, Steve just got stuck. Did you see my camera blink there? No, you didn't, because I was showing the map. Sorry. Freeing the cat. All right. Hope you're amused. If you're not amused by these antics, this is not the YouTube channel for you, but I think most of the people understand it. Half of us are here just for the animals and for the nature shots. All right, one more try at next weekend. It looks like we may have some serious rain coming at us next Saturday and Sunday. Not the best timing, especially this time of year when you're trying to plan weddings and such. Oh, we get some action down on the beach too. Get a dog down the beach staring up here at me. I was looking back at him to see if he was looking back at me. I heard that bird, or was it? All right, so as for QPF, total amount of rain possible A little bit coming in here Sunday, and then probably dry Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday. Probably be a break in there, but it's just too hard to say. And then next weekend, purple gets you over a ½ inch. Red gets you over 2 inches. So they're going to be spots again with more than 2 inches of rain. And I always talk about how in convection, one town can get a lot more than another. Last evening, the hail. Did you see the hail? Scott Reynolds in Hudson, Massachusetts says, I don't think I saw hail in the forecast this evening. No, you did not, Scott. And we way underestimated that last evening. They were not showers, they were downpours, and there was hail, and we had some strong winds. And here at our rain gauge, we picked up 0.12, so on top of the 3.6 from that surprise, what was it? I can't remember. Monday night. I've had close to a ½ inch of rain this week, and that really wasn't expected. So that's why the grass is so green. The compost pile is doing great. We were out here working last evening before those showers came in. So I did a bunch of time lapse. We're going to do a bunch of time lapse, and I'm trying to make room for the new clippings. And, oh, wow, that's really warm. See, it's already decaying. It's steaming. And I got too much stuff. Anybody need any worms or any worm chow? I don't really have any room. So what happens is I start fresh, and I make room for this year's supply, and it goes in here. And you can use your grass clippings for other things too, you know. So, oh, see you later. That thing's going down the stairs. Oh, thanks for stopping. You can, use it for mulch to cover up your seeds or whatever. Seeds grow better if there's something on top of them. So I'm going to try and flatten this all out and put a bunch more seeds in and get that up in there, and so on, so forth and so on. So you can see, can you see it steaming? And that's only from yesterday. All right, birds are singing. The Enmore saw Steve at Great Hill yesterday in the sunshine, and then a bunch of time lapse from last evening. So that's the end of this weather forecasting part, but here comes the fun, watching that squall line go by yesterday. All right, talk to you tomorrow. 10:15, Thursday, May 2nd. I'm really not too confident that it's going to stay dry today. Feels like we're on the warmer side, and we've got some convection going on. Wind is definitely from the west-southwest. Those clouds look kinda angry. Steve, what do you think? Is it going to end up raining here, or will we just forecast dry weather until about 8 o'clock tonight? Another nowcast kind of day. Buoyancy in the atmosphere. All right, noon update. I think that moisture that just went by with that convection was actually left over from the fog in Connecticut, and it kind of bubbled up a little bit, but now we've dried it out again. And there's a grackle trying to build a nest, like in the house, like in my house. They go under decks, they'll go in eaves. He's just thinking, where should I put this next nest? And look at the water. Talk about waves. A little slick there. See that line in the water? That's a slick. It's making its way around the skiff, which sank during the winter and is now corkscrewed around its mooring line. All right, and T-Rex has joined us. Ready to go up the hill, T-Rex? See what we can see today? Haven't seen any turkeys in a while. Let's go. I saw Mary in northern New Hampshire said the uprooted trees provide safe haven for squirrels and chipmunks and such. Got plenty of those around here. Uprooted trees, that is. T-Rex, there's a fan about the door with her more right up there. He just said he's watching me. Rex is always mean to that dog, so she's going to keep a distance from us. And we'll keep a distance from her. Funny. Wow, all of a sudden it's just gorgeous out. I thought I saw some Altocumulus castellanus earlier, but they seem to have faded. Oh, hey, you found T-Rex, thanks.
Hey, nice cover.
Oh, nice cover. Funny. What are you watching there?
You.
You, me?
I'm watching you.
Oh, come on. What's your name?
I'm Steve.
Tim. Hi, Steve.
I met you down near Nantasket Beach a couple of years back in...
I think I remember that.
Yeah, you were paddleboarding. No, power plant operator.
Power plant operator.
Retired.
Cool. Weatherman. Kind of retired. Like you never stop.
Oh, you're retired.
And the reason I had to grab T-Rex is because that dog walks by our house all the time, and T-Rex is not really very friendly to dogs that walk by our house. Oh, there's Lucy. What a beautiful day. Can you dare open the door and see if Lucy comes out and starts jumping up at the sky and playing volleyball by herself? Hi, 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 Lucy. Hi, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come over this way. 72 here by the ocean. It's pretty close to one of the first 70-degree days of the season, I think. And that front's just to our north. Had some altocumulus castellanus earlier, indicating mid-level instability and lift and moisture, which is a precursor sometimes to thunderstorms. I haven't looked at the radar, so it should be an interesting few hours. Got some metal detecting going on down there. Everyone's looking for a little treasure. Okay, it's 4:52. A couple things. Looks like the front, at least the lowest levels, has just come through. The wind just shifted around after being from the southwest, now from the northeast. Feels like the temperature went down a few degrees. Lost the sun too. And another thing, you can mow and use your string trimmer around Steve the cat, and he just lays there. Doesn't even care. No mow May, and no less mow May. I have plenty of breeding grounds for the pollinators. I am a pollinator. No bees were harmed in the mowing of this lawn. Matter of fact, makes it more healthy. Look at the crepuscular rays coming down. That's what you call those rays right there, coming, the sunshine through the hole in the clouds. Crepuscular means of evening or twilight. And those are crepuscular fishermen. Okay, at the surface we've had a fropi here. There's an osprey. You can't make this up. It just showed up when I started recording. Anyhow, if you stare at those clouds up high, they're coming in from the north, even though down low the air is coming from the east. Steve the cat, and I think we have some precipitation near Lynn. So let me check my app and see how it looks. 1 degree outside says, yeah, there's a little raindrop in Lynn, and a lot more going on to the northwest. Let's see if this osprey will dive for us. The bait fish are in. One of the fun parts, though, of not showing your face on TV is you can look like this. Really interesting weather right now. I was mowing with no shirt on, believe it or not, a few minutes ago. And now it's freezing, and I have to go add another layer. This temperature's gone down about 10 degrees in the last 15 minutes. All right, 5 degrees in the last 20. So blue sky, that's where the air is still sinking, and then the clouds where the air is rising. It's the collision of air masses, colder air running into warmer air. And I think we underestimated the amount of rain by looking at that 1 degree outside app. The echoes in New Hampshire are something else. And they're building right in front of our eyes right here, right now, too. 6 p.m. Gray is the color now. It seems like we've got some good updrafts right there, but no precipitation coming out of that cloud. Another good updraft there. Precipitation well off to the north. However, when you look over to the northwest, right through that plain, and the crepuscular rays right there, to the right, that is definitely precipitation hitting the ground. Looks like it's right over Newton, Needham, headed right for us. Is it going to hit us or get us? I don't know about hit. This is just a weather watcher's paradise, watching it change from the ground level and the sky level, and also watching the radar, and you can see that kind of wall of rain coming right through the Hull gut right now. Looks like it's pouring over there toward Nahant, maybe even in Hull. What do you got, Dennis? And Winthrop, you get a roll cloud there, Dennis? It's like a roll cloud. Cold air rolling in at low levels of the atmosphere. Closing in on all quadrants from the northwest, north, northeast. Looks like we got a massive ship coming in there too. Is it gonna go by our house? That'll be fun. How many people get caught out in their evening walk getting soaked? Did they say it was gonna rain this hard? 2 ferries passing in the evening rain. And it looks like that tanker is taking a left, bearing 180 through the Hull gut, so that's gonna go by. The sun goes down at about 8:15. It's 6:15. So, who knows? Maybe a rainbow. So cool. Sunshine, downpours. Boats speeding home. Crepuscular rays with planes going through them. Carl in Boston just texted me the major downpour right there in the back bay. I'm like, did they say it was going to rain this hard? I don't think so. What I said this morning was, front comes through around sunset, 7 to 8 o'clock. It's almost 7 o'clock. And we would have a little bit of rain and maybe some drizzle. Overachiever. We haven't had a time lapse of a tanker going by in a couple days. What do you say? I'm going to leave it on single zoom so you can really get the scope of the ship as it gets closer. These things are like 500 feet long. Golden Energy, 6:47 p.m. in Boston. Well, it's 6:47 p.m. on the East Coast. But in Boston, Tucker Antico just said that they had some hail coming through. And we've got a roll cloud here as the colder air rolls in. The temperature is 77 degrees in Chicopee right now with a dew point of 39. So we're feeding off warm and not too humid air to our south and west. What a front. What an overachiever. This is wild. And it keeps on changing by the second. That out there. I think some lightning just formed. Kevin Lemanowitz just tweeted out that lightning just formed. Wow, this thing is going off. Not your average backdoor cold front. Cyclogenesis on a backdoor cold front. In other words, low pressure is forming right over us right now. We've been tracking it all week. All week I thought this was going to be a very interesting day. And this morning I kind of backed off how interesting I thought it was going to be. All right, let's watch this roll cloud now. See what it does. All right, 6:30. It's still fun. I just checked the velocity azimuth display, and it showed 89 knots at 22,000 feet. So the air is ripping up there, so that helps explain why we get these towering cumulonimbus. And here's the view at 6 o'clock from 21,000 miles up from the geostationary orbiting satellite imagery. I can't stop. I need another time lapse. Bruins game isn't for another 45 minutes. Those clouds are humming. And it looks like another downpour is coming right in. Like maybe the downpour of the evening. Camera abuse. Sorry. Man, describing this as showers is an understatement. All right, can you even hear me? There's probably water in my microphone. It's so interesting that some of the meteorologists on TV are calling these showers, because that was kind of the forecast. These are gully washers and downpours and thunder and hail. All right, so we all underestimated what was going to happen. And how on earth did that cat get out? No idea. Houdini. Waterfront. All right, multiple time lapses. Let's call it. Jack Edwards is saying goodnight tonight. Is he done today? I know he's retiring. I feel so bad for him that he can't get his words out. I know the feeling, Jack. I think you're awesome. Went skiing with him once. Go Bees. Game starts in a few minutes. I had to go get a cat from underneath the bush.